They tryna turn Trenton into Baby Flint. Been signs by depression on the billboards ever since. 100 years ago we was lynched. Now they use germ warfare to kill us. I'm convinced, got the evidence. I look around and it's evident. Then go down to City Hall and see so much negligence. Real art is intelligent. A true artist sends messages that speak to your intelligence. They fought and died so I can do my thing. Not to get drunk and high or join no gang. I will not let none of you die in vain. For my people I bang, bang, bang. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. They say post-traumatic slavery disorder's fake, but I just tell them all to wake up. Everything we went through, what a way down a rape, bro. Isn't our genetic makeup. So I am my ancestors from block to block. Let's build like it's Tetris. We must unite, link up like a necklace. They fought and died and we disrespected. So I come to correct it. The legacy they left I protected. We only think about self and neglected. You're African but yet you rejected. No. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. I do. I go.
Peace, 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 and blessings, everybody. This is Imam Bilal Hassan, Brother Bilal, your host here on New Freedom Exchange. Welcome you all back on this great Monday evening. Happy and blessed Monday. Hope everyone is doing well out there right now. We're live back on New Freedom Exchange here with another daily digital exclusive. And thank you all for tuning in. Those who are tuning in right now, tap in, leave a comment below. Let us know where you're tuning in from, your city, your state, even your country, wherever you're representing from. We'll pull you up on the screen and shout you out. But we get very grateful to the Creator for allowing us to see another opportunity and to be with you all this Monday evening. I'll be joined with my co-host, Brother Deen, momentarily. He's about to tap into the studio. Sister Marsha, she may tap in as well, but I think she might be preoccupied with some things at work. But nevertheless, we have a great show, great exchange rather for you all this evening, and a great brother, someone who I know and had a pleasure of attending the first degree granting HBCU, Historically Black College University, Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. Brother Antoine Wallace, who will be joining us momentarily as we begin here on this beautiful Monday. So yeah, tap in. If anyone is here, please share the live too. Please share if you're here, you tuned in. Share the live to your friends and to your family. Let them know about this exchange that we're about to have this evening with Brother Antoine Wallace of the Just Cause Foundation Incorporated. And let them know that this is something that they don't want to miss. Again, here on this platform, we pride ourselves in displaying exemplary people that's trying to do exemplary work to uplift humanity and uplift social dignity in this country here in America, but also around the world. So this is the platform for that, for us to share in the light, share in the information, share in the exchange, share with our brothers and sisters what is going on. And Brother Deen just arrived. We'll pull him up here. Brother Deen is with us.
Right on. Welcome back.
Salams, bro. Salam alaikum, beloved.
Hey, salam, salam.
How are you?
Good. Hanging in there.
Hang in there. You got a freshie, man? You got a Sharpie?
A little sharpie, man. A little something, man.
Oh.
My hair look better. They used to call me Peanut Head back in the day, man. Nah, it's all good.
No, who delivered the Sharpie? Who delivered the Sharpie, man?
One of the students at the school.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to get my
Well,
son to do it. He talking about he's scared. You know how that go.
yeah. Well, can't be too scared. Gotta get your feet wet. What I'm saying. And but yeah. So we're pleased, man. How's the rest of your day going, man? How's the rest of your day?
Rest of the day's going good. Had a little busy day earlier today. Was on a site visit. In the world of industry, big business. So it's good to see production lines and everything back, even though they're about to shut it back down again with the recent upsurge of cases. So
I heard in PA it's like
sites. Yeah.
I heard in PA it's like 11%. Some crazy number of 11% turns out the infection rate. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but I was watching the news earlier, and they said that the PA it's like 11, New Jersey is almost like a 6. And I know Marsha Muhammad in Newark just closed because of Mayor Ross Baraka issued a 10-day shutdown of some sort. So they're going to be closed for this Juma, this Friday, and next week's December, the first Juma in December, they'll be closed, and then hopefully everything will be back open after that. And I know here in New York, it's like sporadic. It's like there's pockets of clusters, what they call micro clusters. So like Staten Island is like ridiculously high, then almost like a 5 or a 6, and they don't really have many hospitals over there. So the main hospital, Staten Island University, is like they fear it's going to be overpacked, or it's starting to get packed. So they're going to have to make a makeshift hospital of some sort for COVID patients. And I know here in Queens, in my neighborhood where I live, I think we were still underneath. I mean, we were red. I think now we're at yellow, but there's certain parts of Queens, like Astoria, for instance, like it's like a 5. So it's like depending on where you go in the city, is like, it may be nothing going on as far as the infection rate may be low, very low, and then if you cross into another borough, a certain part of another borough is like ridiculously high. So, so definitely be careful. What I'm saying, out there, practice common sense. That's the best practice, common sense, and practice health prevention. I mean, yesterday we had a beautiful show with Sister Medina, who was the first going to be the first in a couple of weeks. She'll be sworn in. Going to be the first Muslim representative in the state of Delaware history. And she shared to us on Saturday, was it Saturday? Sunday, yesterday, that the healthcare system. And speaking of the healthcare system, our brother Antoine Wallace does work in the healthcare field, so he can possibly share some insight into that momentarily. Just to we don't practice preventive measures beforehand. So the healthcare system that we have is just basically based on big pharmaceutical companies giving you medication to basically subdue your symptoms, but not cure your symptoms. It's not a cure for your symptoms. It's just to cover it up, as they say. And these companies are making a lot of money off of the backs of those who are in pain, those who are suffering from any disease or even any mental disorder, etc. They're making big money off of us, and we're not really concentrating on how we can basically try to prevent as much as we can from getting sick or suffering from particular ailments and different things like that. So today we have a great guest, Brother Antoine Wallace. I'm gonna read his bio right now, and we're gonna bring him on so we can start our conversation, exchange for this evening. Without no further ado, let's see. Let me pull up our brother here. And here we go. Antoine Wallace, born and raised in Queens, New York City. Wallace's appreciation for community and service started at a young age. As a member of the School Safety Explorer program at the High School for Law Enforcement and Public Safety, he was involved in numerous efforts to better his community. Those efforts included, but not limited to, highway cleanups, repainting graffiti defaced properties, after-school reading programs, feedings at homeless shelters. That thirst for helping others continued at the Lincoln University as a member of the People Standing United social organization. That community service-based social organization gave Wallace the outlet necessary to continue being an impactful member of society. As a traveling healthcare IT professional, his plan is to spread a message of philanthropy while being deployed across the country. So without no further ado, we're going to bring on Brother Antoine Wallace.
Welcome, welcome.
How's it going? How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
No problem. No problem.
Bilal knows me. Everybody calls me Wallace. Dean, nice to meet you. You can call me Wallace too.
Wallace D. You know.
I was saying
Oh.
Dean, you could call me Wallace.
Oh, I was about to say, man, you know who Wallace D is, man. That's our mentor, leader and teacher, Wallace D. I want to be really excited.
No, Wallace. But so Wallace, we like to give you a chance to introduce yourself. We always do this. We read the bios. We ask for bios for our guests, but we always allow the guests again to reintroduce themselves as they want to introduce themselves to the general public. So, go. The floor is yours, bro.
Shortly put, I'm just a kid from Queens that had a lot of help. You know what I mean? I've been through a lot of hardship, and I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have made it to Lincoln. Wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for my support system. So I've always had a mindset and a philosophy of paying it forward, because without someone doing that for me, I wouldn't be here today.
Excellent.
So what would you? So, we read the bio. Born in Queens. Could you elaborate a little bit on your upbringing? In Queens, your upbringing that led you to where you are now in terms of your career and also in terms of the philanthropy work you're doing.
Well, I was adopted at 16. So from 2 to 14, I was 2 to 13 actually. I probably lived in 20, 25 different foster homes around New York City, around Queens, pretty much, Hempstead, different parts of Long Island, but mostly Queens. I lived in Baisley, Rochdale, South Road, Sufton. I grew up all over Queens, right? Finally settled in on Garbura with the woman that adopted me, Miss Alice Jenkins, my mother, my grandmother, my angel. And she's always been a person to help others. She would take in emergency cases with the foster kids every week, it would seem. When I went away to college, every time I came home, there was a new kid in the house, and, you don't realize what people are doing until you separate yourself from the situation. You can take a step back and, really see, she was changing people's lives just by caring for them and making sure that, even in the short while that they were in her house, that they had everything that they needed. They may not have had everything that they wanted because she was not a rich woman, but in spirit and spirit and faith, she was a very rich woman, and that flowed over to all the children that she, helped and she received into her home. So if I had to credit to anyone, it's my grandmother and my support system.
Excellent. So, we had a previous discussion here a couple of days ago in reference to mental health, and just want to talk a little bit, just briefly about that, and how that may have tied into your story, if any. Mental health, depression, anxiety. We had the Elevate team on, of course, our brothers from Lincoln, Aaron, Greg, and Dante, who have developed the app called Elevate. And we know the stigma that's attached to the Black man as far as mental health. Would you say that, due to your upbringing, that mental health, that your mental health was affected, and, how are you taking care of your mental health today?
The second question is loaded. I think we all can use all the help that we can get. Like you said, there's a stigma in our community about not seeking help, and we try, as Black people in this world, to shoulder on as much as we can and soldier through. But like you said, that stigma of not going to receive help and dealing with the issues that are deeply rooted, not only in our community, but, in our own lives. We all go through traumatic events that, a lot of us don't deal with properly. even in my upbringing, you got to imagine a kid, going to school, growing up in foster care. You watch all the rest of the kids have birthday parties and all these celebrations and graduations and seeing all this family, and you're wondering, why is no one coming to see me? Why is no one cheering my name? You know what I mean? So those things take a toll on you, right? And I always fall back to my support system. It wasn't always there throughout my life, but when I got one, I clenched my teeth on them and I never let them go because it's so important. Right. For so much of my life, I wondered why, such and such didn't want me, why this person didn't want, anything to do with me, rather than, appreciate the people that did. And then once I saw that, I have a tattoo on my arm, right? It says, "The Lord made me, Queens raised me," right? And it's a play on words for the women that raised me, Queens, New York, but the women in my life, right? Those 5 women, we're still close today. My grandmother that adopted me, my godmother, my church mom, my 5th grade teacher, right? There's this support system that, like I said, I wouldn't be here today without them. So mentally, I lean on them today too. When things get rough, especially with everything that was going on earlier in the summer with the civil unrest and everything, the people I run to, those women in my life, and let them know that I'm not okay. The things that I see on TV is not okay. How I'm processing it's not okay. So I fall back into my support system. And I've even tried therapy. It's not really my thing, but I see how it can help people. But I think the biggest thing is, understanding that, you can't do it on your own.
And how does that how did that translate into your organization, like Just Cause Foundation?
So go ahead.
No, as a support system for others, like you're sharing.
So it's funny that you asked, because I never really thought about it this way, but they never had a reason to love me or to take care of me. You know what I mean? It was just, I was in their umbrella and they saw me and they knew that I struggled and I had issues with, attachments or other social issues that, kids that deal with abandonment may have. And they saw that and they comforted me, and they didn't need a reason to do so. And that's kind of the premise of Just Cause, right? I wanted to create a platform where we do things out the goodness of our heart and we come together as a people just because, so that when we needed to fight for just causes, we're already mobilized. The idea for Just Cause came from, I was standing in Union Square, 2014 at the Trayvon Martin protest downtown New York. And a friend of mine, Gregory, we went down there with water just to give to the protesters. And they're asking us, "What are you guys doing out here?" We're like, we're just here supporting you. You guys are, doing what you can to push the message forward. Like, we're just here supporting you. Anything you need, you want us to run to the store, we'll do it for you, just because. And then Greg looks at me, he's like, "You need to run with that. Just because. We're just out here just because." And the other part is that we're such a reactionary society, especially in our community. We wait for things to happen to us to mobilize. We wait for them to kill us, to say that we need to vote. We wait for the brutality to happen to try to make changes in legislation, right? We need to be more proactive. So that's where the idea of doing things just because, so we can fight for just causes later.
Yeah, and that actually takes you a step above like these trials and tribulations that people stumble upon that could be preventative. Like, because a lot of the issues that we deal with, they could be preventative,
right,
if you would take that disposition.
Right.
And I appreciate on your website where it talks about the socioeconomic, like, so you're looking at one aspect of it, but also the balance to it, right? Because there's a give and take. Talk to that a little more about the give and take of society, economics, education, from your perspective.
So I feel like it's all intertwined, right? It's a delicate system, and there's no one answer to how to uplift our people and to, push us forward, right? Like you said, education is a huge factor in this, right? Mental health is also a huge factor. We can't try to just throw money at every situation and think that it's going to work. We have to look at our entire sociology as a whole, and try to push all the wheels forward, right? Money isn't going to heal everything. Just education alone isn't going to heal everything, right? We have to have people dedicated to each sector, and have one common goal of pushing those sectors forward. I think we all try to do everything and try to knock it out in a home run fashion, where we can all just do your part, right? If I'm feeding, I feed. If you're teaching, you teach. But let's all teach and feed with the common goal of pushing our people forward.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, how can we bottle that and put it in a capsule and just share that's the real, that's the real, what they call what's the thing they giving everybody? The vaccine. That's the real vaccine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So talk to us a little bit too about in your bio you mentioned these explorers, the explorers group. Talk about that. What made you jump into that that program?
So the sense of community to me has always been a big thing, which makes a lot of sense because I was adopted. I moved around, so my friends became my family. You know what I mean? Classmates became family because I didn't have stable family at home. I go to school, my basketball team. We're on the road to. When you're a kid, you go to school 8-9 hours a day, hours a week. You spend more time with your classmates and your coworkers than you do with your own family at home, right? So when home isn't what you want it to be, I had a thirst to go to school as a kid, right, to escape my reality, right? From much of my life, all I wanted to do was to get to college so I can get away, right? And explorers presented that family, right? There was a lot of discipline, which I needed, but the projects that we did, going into our own communities and doing the cleanups and the community service that we did, right? You got to see your impact tenfold, right? And immediately, right? Normally, you'll do something, you may do it outside of your own community. They'll ship you to Staten Island or somewhere in Brooklyn. On the bus and you clean up that neighborhood and you come back. No, we were on South Road. We were at Roy Wilkins. We were in Queens, right? Making this difference. And they rewarded us, right? We'd clean up 10 hours out the day on a Friday. And then Saturday, they'd have a big party for us, right? Or we go in the woods and we have our retreat and we do all of our PT and our cleanup there. But then at the end, there'd be a party. So it's like there was this, like you say, give and take. There was this give and take that not only, it was rewarding to see what you were doing, but you felt, rewarded yourself. So that was a motivating factor to keep going. And like I said, I always, for some reason, I always gravitated towards people that wanted to help others.
You mentioned that you can't throw money at everything, right? So what are some other ways outside of just giving away things and receiving money? What are some other components to, I guess, making the society? I saw also on your website you talk about social justice, right? So what does social justice mean to you? And what are some strategies that could better help that come to reality?
So to answer your first question, other aspects to help without throwing money, I think presence is really important, right? For me personally, that's what I was yearning for, right? That family presence, right? You never know how much you mean to someone else, right? And just you checking in on them, what that can do for their mental health, what that can do for their overall outlook on life, right? So presence is really important. And to tie that into social justice, we have our culture is so, I don't even, it's like it's publicly traded, right? Like we're a commodity, right? The Black experience is so sought after and so grandiose and placed on this pedestal, but the Black people itself, we're not looked at as that same, you know what I mean? They don't look at us that same way. And it's when we make our presence felt that now there's there's 50 black men with one like-minded agenda. And okay, well, maybe we have to pay a little attention. You see all these black women starting their own business, and they're the leading demographic in the country when it comes to educated people. Okay, now we have to start paying some attention, because when you start putting presence behind that money, now you're cooking with something, right? So I think, to me, presence is important. And like I said, it ties into my upbringing alone, and, just us being there for each other. And that goes again with the mission of Just Cause, right? If we can do this together.
Yeah, that's key. And one of the brothers yesterday, when we were having our discussion about manhood and womanhood, he mentioned that, about how back in like the turn of the 20th century, African American households were maybe 20%, with one family or one parent.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's upwards 75%, right? So like you said, presence is definitely major, because the lack thereof is where you see the gap, throughout our community and our culture.
Yeah, and I don't want to go on, because I can go on for days.
Yeah, let's go.
One of my favorites in college, it was taking the black man out of the home was by design. You know what I mean? Like, beat us in front of our children and our wives to take our presence out of the home, because they knew what our foundation is. They knew how strong we are when we're present and we're united, right? So you have to do something to separate that presence, to separate that united front. And that's why I say we come back together. We know what our influence is across the world. We know what we mean to the country, to the world, to the dollar, to everything that moves. We dictate it. We need to use that power, that influence, and make our presence not only felt but known everywhere.
So I wanna skip a little bit. We're going back and forth between your childhood to when you was a teenager, now to college now. So your Lincoln University experience. People Standing United. Tell the people, for those who are not familiar with People Standing United and your college experience, can you share a little bit about how Lincoln helped shape you and driven you towards your career and towards this philanthropy again that you're doing right now?
So my organization at Lincoln University was called People Stand United, PSU for short. It's an all-male, non-Greek social organization geared on community service. So once again, we go from high school community service organization, in college, right? So the things that I'm attracted to. What was so cool to me about PSU was they just seemed like everyday guys, right? They wanted to, be I'd say a tool on campus for enrichment, right? Whether that be social life, whether that be community service. Amongst Lincoln, one of our staples is cleaning the highway that leads you to Lincoln University's front lawn, right? Every homecoming, we get out there, we take our forks, and we clean that highway. And that's our sense of pride. It says, this stretch of highway is cleaned by People Who Stand United. That's the first thing you see as you're going up to Lincoln University. So that sense of community, again, right? The brotherhood. And again, it was different from what you would normally see at a black college. We're not Greek. But there was still this really strong brotherhood. And when I got there in 2007, sheesh, made me feel old. I got there in 2007, we were actually suspended, right? And we had a reputation on campus as, just a party organization, a real rowdy group, and, a bunch of New Yorkers that just wanted to, just party all the time. To this day, I think our second, but at the time, our most successful event was a forum about the image of the Lincoln man, the tarnished image of a Lincoln man. And that forum, for a social organization that loves to party, we brought out over 300-400 people to sit and discuss what we were doing wrong as men on that campus, and what can we do to better ourselves on that campus. And once again, that sense of community. There were 17 of us, half of us from New York, but a bunch of DC from Philly, all coming together under one common cause to try to enrich campus life, but also to be examples on campus. So that, once again, I keep coming back to the, that sense of community.
No, this is big because remember, we talk about this platform a lot, about this sense of community and what we call community development. That's our slogan, for this platform, community development through empowerment, because we feel like we have gotten empowered through the heroes and sheroes that the Creator has blessed us with to have throughout our struggles, to get to this point, and that now we need development. Now we need to develop that plan or that vision, or execute the strategic plan as a people. So when you mentioned that the sense of community, that really stuck out to me again about you and about just Lincoln University when I came there. The sense of community being a relatively small HBCU in comparison to a lot of the other bigger, well-known, quote-unquote well-known HBCUs that were popularized in the media. And also coming from a small private school, small Muslim school in Corona, my graduate class was like 8 or 10 of us. So when I came to Lincoln, it was like a cultural shock. I was like, oh my God, there's so many people here. You know what I'm saying? So, I do credit, people like yourself and other brothers and other sisters, who helped me, matriculate, what I'm saying, and help me in my transition throughout Lincoln. And to see you all doing this work and continue that passion, not just at Lincoln, but carrying it over into the world, that just speaks to the character, your character as a person, and and just for me, it's just it's just a blessing. Sometimes I consider it a blessing. And I consider the work that you're doing, again, a major blessing. To the ones that you have touched, the people that you continue to touch throughout your work.
I honestly can't take all that credit. Like I said, my support system has brought me this far. But we can even go back to Lincoln. If you look at, the people that we, in our generation, right, that have been post Lincoln, all of them grabbed and dragged people with them. You know what I mean?
Correct.
We can't point to any of our classmates that have gone on to do great things that are only there by themselves, right? They'll pull their line sisters, they'll pull their classmates, people they graduate with. You see what Mass Comm has done.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of their building, right? Our sense of community was woven into our DNA at Lincoln, right? So much to the point where when I hear people say that they didn't have that community experience at Lincoln, I want to reach out to them now. Like, look, you're still family. If you didn't get it on the yard, you will get it now, because we are still, we're still this tight-knit family. And kudos to you for you always highlighting, bro, before you had a platform, you had the light on anything we did. It could be in something small. You made sure that you showed people love, and that's just the spirit of Lincoln, right? And with the shutdown, it just makes you really appreciate things in a different light. I've missed the last 5 homecomings and didn't think anything about it. And then, with things shutting down, it's like there was no place I wanted to be more on October 18th than on the yard with everyone. If that was possible, it would have been great. And I'm excited of the prospect of homecoming 2021, because I need to see you guys. And like I said, that true bond that we built on that campus can never be destroyed.
Absolutely. I agree. Now let's transition into more of this the Just Cause Foundation. Let's transition to that. What's coming up, in Philadelphia. Obviously, we got the event coming up that you all doing. But first, let me backtrack a little bit. What did you major at Lincoln? Tell me what you major at Lincoln, and tell me what you're doing now in real life, because I don't think you majored in what you're doing now. So tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I guess it comes a little full circle, right? Because I was a political science major at Lincoln University.
Right.
And I started as a computer science minor, and I wish I kept that, because now I work in healthcare. I work in healthcare IT as a traveling consultant. We basically teaches doctors and nurses how to use a computer system. All of the hospitals have been mandated, I think it was the Bush administration, to go from paper charting to electronic health records. So my job is to help with the transition from paper to electronic health records and across the country.
Okay. And because you travel with this job now, you able to still pursue your passion of Just Cause, because we have seen you, at least I've seen you do events wherever you are. So talk about that. Talk about how that helps you with what your platform, what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I think the very first thing I did, my 30th birthday, we put together, my coworkers and I, shout out to all of them, Wesley, B, Brittany, Sierra, everyone that's helped over the years. I know I'm forgetting some people, but we put together my 30th birthday. I did 30 bags, put together like care kits. We put toothpaste, toothbrushes, socks, sandwiches, some water, hand sanitizer in a bag. And then I found a Camp City in Atlanta and we handed out the 30 bags, right? And that was last year, right? And I just wanted to keep that energy going. When I got to California at the beginning of this year, what started my Just Cause Saturdays initiative, we were getting food in the offices that I was working in, right? I was working at an office in Salinas, California, and they gave us lunch every day, right? They gave us lunch every day because of COVID. So the healthcare professionals in that area, they were amazing. People loved them, especially the restaurant industry. So they had food every day, more food than they needed. So I saw that they would throw the food out at the end of every day. So I asked them, I said, hey, can I take some of these plates? You know, there's some homeless people on my way to my hotel. I'll hand them out. You know what I mean? You don't have to throw this food away. It started with maybe 3 to 4 plates, and then everyone knew that I was the guy that would take the food at the end of the day. So everyone's like, oh, Wallace, there's more food in the back. Just grab it, to the point where I'm having like maybe 20 trays of food. So after work, I would drive around and just hand out these plates, right? A coworker of mine challenged me. He said, it's really easy to hand out food that someone else bought. And at first I took offense, and I got defensive. You know, I'm from New York. You're not really going to poke me too much. I'm telling him, well, I don't see you giving away anything, right? Whether it's free or not. So I took his challenge, and that weekend I bought maybe $250 worth of groceries, made some chicken, some mac and cheese, some cornbread, cooked for like 2 days, packaged everything, and then rode around that same community that I see the people and started handing out plates. The first run, we did maybe 20, 25 plates. Did it again the next weekend. And while I'm doing this, I'm cooking, I'm on Instagram, I'm playing music, and I'm interacting with my followers, and people are like, oh, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. It's cool. Like, you know, like I eat for free at work and I get per diem. Like, I'm not missing a meal. This is fine. But my main reason for doing that was you would see these food banks being overrun by your average 9-to-5 people, right? People that were used to being able to put food on their table are now depending on the food banks to feed their families. So if you look at that, you understand that the next person behind them, people that actually need those food banks, are being overwhelmed, right? There's not much left over for them. So that was my energy behind, getting the food out to the people that needed it. And then I stopped being stubborn and started accepting donations from people. People would send donations over Instagram, and that would go into the next Saturday. I would use their donations, match their donations, and cook for the next weekend. That went on for 7 weekends in California while I was out there. At this point, people are asking me, what more can we do? How more can we help? So at that point, I was like, I need to legitimize this. I didn't have an NFC. There was no EIN number associated. The foundation was not even a thought yet. But I went to Dallas after California, and reason why I didn't do the plates is because I didn't have the same kitchen in my hotel, right? I had a little kitchenette, just a small refrigerator. The capacity wasn't there to cook 50 meals. So what we did was go to a supermarket and tell people, I have $500. You have up to $100 free groceries, anything you need. Let's go. So that was a shift from feeding the homeless to going to feeding, families. And we did that in California again, in Compton, a couple of weeks after that, once again in Chicago. And now we're here to Philly. I think I'm forgetting a place, but now we're here to Philly where we're putting together gift baskets for Thanksgiving. And as the donations roll in, I went shopping today. Actually, we purchased over $400 of canned goods and non-perishables just in preparation for the event on Wednesday.
Boop. There's the flyer.
Oh yeah.
Just Cause Foundation times People Stand United with the Lincoln University Young Alumni Council Thanksgiving Gift Basket Drive this Wednesday, November 25th. COVID-19 Relief Thanksgiving Drive. Location, Mastery Charter Prep Elementary, 1801 West Pike Street, Philadelphia, PA 19141. Time is from 12 to 4. Music by another Lincoln alum, DJ Top Choice. And how to donate? Well, we got that down there. We also let me pull up the links too. We got the links to donate also in the bio as well. I mean, in the comment section as well. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo to the Just Cause Foundation. All donations are accepted. They are now tax deductible officially.
Yeah.
Officially now. Tax deductible, and you can still drop off food, correct? The people can still drop off canned goods and non-perishable items, correct?
Yes, at the school. And I want to be very clear. While we will have a DJ present playing music, we are going to encourage a very COVID conscious environment, right?
We're not
put anyone at risk.
Of course.
There's background music so that people can be pleased as they're picking their gift baskets. We want people in and out and safe back to their family.
Right, correct. Of course, safety and common sense is first. Could you also, in your travels, tell us, you've been to a lot of course, quote unquote, urban communities, right? Dallas, Compton, Chicago, et cetera, now Philadelphia. And, we know a lot of people, between me and you, and of course, Deen used to be in Philadelphia a lot too. We know a lot of people in Philadelphia. We know due to the social unrest, the civil unrest, the gentrification, et cetera. We know a lot of these cities are hurting. A lot of our people in these cities are hurting. My question is, in your travels, what is that? How has that opened you up? How has that allowed you to see where you fit in to pose a solution? A more long term solution.
I think that's a hard one, man. Like as a people, we're pressed to vote, right? And I'm not here to say that voting doesn't matter.
Correct.
But this is where I go back to presence, right? As I keep hearing people push us to vote, I'm wondering, why aren't they telling us to run? Run. You want to see the change in your community, you have to be the change, right? That's why I say we all do our part, right? There needs to be more of our representation. So a lot of people have a lot of good ideas about Black political parties and things of that nature, but I need to see more of us in our politics, right? And more of us that actually have our interests at hand, right? So that brings me back to my point of presence, right? We need to be felt in that arena, right? If we're going to play by these rules, we have to make sure that we have representation.
And the crazy thing is, like, even whether you want to play by them or not, you still in it. Like anybody who got $1, you're a part of the political system. You know what I mean? Credit card, anything that you have in this environment, even if you're like a quote unquote illegal alien, I mean, you're still participating in the system.
Right.
So yeah, I love the encouragement to get in front of it. Get in front of it. Take the driver's seat.
Oh, we got some surprises too. So I dug up a few surprises. On the show we like to dig up a few surprises. Boop. So could you tell us what the backstory is to this?
So before we were Just Cause, I just always wanted to be a part of my community, right? So the idea behind the dollars were just to remind the kids that they mattered, right? And so I took $100 and 100 messages of support from my friends on social media and wrote it on those bills and handed them out to 100 children. It was something that I did every year. I've been slacking lately. The foundation has kept me a little busy. It was really impactful. I still remember the first child I gave $1 to. He looks me in my eye and he's like confused and bewildered, like, why are you doing this? And I'm explaining to him, like, listen, I love you. I don't know you. You know what I mean? But the person that wrote that message on that dollar loves you. We understand that for any of my dreams to be realized, it's going to be on the backs of your labor, not mine. I'm here to inspire and hold on, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Put the flyer back up. That's near my brother's area. Yeah, come on through. What's this? November 25th, this Wednesday, Thanksgiving gift basket drive, COVID-19 relief Thanksgiving drive at Mastery Charter Prep Elementary. That's 1801 West Pike Street. It's near the Huntington Park area. I know my brother, he's right in that area off of Germantown.
That's right.
Yeah, so we know what it is.
Yeah, so
you were saying that was a beautiful message you were sharing.
Yeah, I was just the kids know that we know that they're the future. We believe, we know that one day we're going to be that old generation stuck in their ways. And but for me to see half of the things, the things that we talk about, the world that we want to live in, we have to start planting those seeds in them because they're going to take us there. And that was before Just Cause even was a thought as a foundation. It was just me trying to be active in my community and just, putting that positive energy out there. Because, it doesn't have to be me that makes the change. If I can inspire someone who takes it further, that's more important than anything that I can be involved in.
Correct. And I think this notion of the theme of love is so important. The theme of love and showing the love to the future generation, or the generation that's now. To be honest, the generation is now. I mean, a lot of the old folks keep saying, "Oh, we're the young people, we're the future generation." Where are they? They're here. Generation Alpha is here. They're 20. For anyone born from 2010 to the present, is Generation Alpha. They're here already. They're here. So the generation is now. So I want to tie into this. And you tied into saying you were orphan too, and I know that it brought me to the prophetic tradition, and it's in the scriptures, about taking care of the orphans, and about that's our responsibility is the zakat or the sadaqah that Muslims believe in. So does the church, and other faiths believe in the charity, and how charity starts at home, and after it starts at home, the charity then goes out to the community. It goes out to the people around you, your family and your friends, and etc. And in the prophetic tradition, it's always mentioned about making sure we take care of the orphans, the widows, our community, and also this idea of a shepherd or a leader. A leader is to be seen as a shepherd who is responsible for their flock. And right now, I mean, we talked about this yesterday. And I always try to remind others that we are leaders in our own rights, and even though we may not accept it, like, oh, I'm a leader, we don't have to broadcast that. It's just like the title in front of my name is just, it's not because you have to have a physical place of worship. You don't have to have a physical place of worship. So I'm saying it's accepting the responsibility that we have as men and as women that we have to our community. It's just simple as that. We have to accept that, even if it's at a small, even if it's to be perceived as something small, like giving out dollars to children. Even though someone may see that as a small gesture, that's a major gesture. We don't know how that could inspire someone. You see that kid 10, 20 years now, he's like 25, or he's going off to college, or she's going off to college, or about to graduate from college, but like, oh, I remembered you. You the one that gave me that dollar randomly off the street corner. Like that carries a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? And I think that moving forward in this in moving forward in society, we have to, those who are sober in thinking, sober in spirit and mind, are responsible for sheltering a new path, or bridging a new path in terms of leadership, because we see now there's a lack thereof. It's like a moral decadence, in leadership. People doing all types of crazy, and leaders doing all types of crazy. You don't even know who you can trust. What I'm saying? You don't know who you can trust no more. So it's gonna be up to us, man. That's why I asked you the question. Even though it's hard to conceive long-term longevity wise, but even in the short term, the role that you're playing with the Just Cause Foundation is gonna branch out to be long term. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be here for a while. That's the premise. That's the premise of anything, right? For it to be long term. So, speaking of that, what are your long term plans for Just Cause Foundation?
So I've actually said this out loud twice.
Okay.
And but my plan is to have community centers across the country where
nice
kids, adults, anyone in need can come for resources, right? Not only food, employment benefits, if you needed a place to stay for them, right? Just a place where, a safe space for our community. How I get there, I'm not sure yet, but that is the end goal, and that is the dream, where I can, legitimately provide safe spaces and resources for the community, where, because, I don't know if you remember, but, PALs were huge in the community.
Yes.
Those places where, after school you can go and have programs. They provided food. Those things are important when you're building your nation, right? When you're making these communities in the community, right? And strengthening the community that you already have. So a brick and mortar where people can come for Just Cause, and I don't have to physically go to them, and we can provide that to the community, whether I'm there or not. That's the dream. That's where I want Just Cause to go, to literally have foundation.
Yeah, that's honorable, and we salute that. And any way we could do to help in that fruition to come in reality, you have our open support.
No, yeah, that's probably that's part of the strategic plan. I think that's part of the strategic plan for our people. I mean, we need to, build that strategic plan. I mean, all this talk about the platinum plan and all this other stuff. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's be serious now. We need a strategic plan. We do need one. And where you fall in, Wallace, with the community centers, I think that's crucial, man, because right now in a lot of our communities, we barely even have a functioning community center, and most of them are closed. Most of them have been gutted. They lost money, this, that, and the third. Some are starting to reopen, but that's with help again from the community. So there's a lot of issues that we fall under. Food deserts, gentrification. How do we combat gentrification? How do we combat food deserts? How do we combat this? How do we combat that? So it's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it's going to take us as a community. So you may have a strong suit. I may have a strong suit. Deen may have a strong suit, but that's all of us coming together to put our brains together.
Right.
We have more manpower that way. Yeah. We don't have more manpower. Everyone's working in their silos. You know what I'm saying? And because there is such thing as locally, you build locally, and then you build nationally, and then eventually internationally. You know what I'm saying? That's the end result of starting, but you got to start somewhere. And this notion, I do like this conversation, this exchange, because it reminds me of another initiative that was started by another brother that we know out of Tennessee. Started the Brothers Roundtable. Sort of similar premise to People Standing United, where the brothers come together, and no matter what faith, no matter what spiritual level, no matter what your occupation is, they've come together. They have 10 commandments, so what they call the 10 principles. Some principles that they read off at the beginning of every meeting, and then they have committees. So whatever committee you want to be on, that's the committee that you're on, and you work. So they do cleanups, they do this, they're working on this, they're working on this economic plan. This is all in local communities. They have one in Nashville, Memphis, and now a chartered one in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So, there are ideas that we have sort of a blueprint. We have an idea. Now it's just about bringing us together. So I'm saying, and to work in these local communities. I do have.
Not
go
to
ahead.
Off, right?
No, go ahead, please.
To speak to that nation building, that community building.
Yes.
I want to give a quick shout out to Diana Padilla and Sarah Vasquez, right? So the 7 Saturdays that we did in California, there has since been 3 more Just Cause Saturdays without involvement.
Nice.
They've put on events. They're continuing affecting their community, and to me, that's the greatest.
Yes.
For me, I'm not even there. They're still putting on events. They're doing another one in December with me, right? So that goes to the notion that I know it's possible for Just Cause to continue to make changes in communities, whether I'm there or not. And that's what I want for the foundation, for me to not have to be present for this influence to continue. So shots to them again. Salinas, California, coming soon.
Yes, definitely. I do want to put up another surprise. You
got some tricks with this.
memories, man. These
are is that you? Is that you in the red?
That's me, man. That's me. That's me. That's me. To the left is my man Taji. We went to Claire Muhammad School together from Harlem. To the right is Alana from Queens. To the right is Jordan. To the right is the one only Wallace. And to the right is Tiny. And this is memories, man. I had to, man.
That's an OD.
Y'all up to the master plan, man. What y'all up to, man?
No, man. It's just good times. We had this. We just had good times, man. It's just. I can't take those. I can't take our experiences back. I don't regret anything. In terms, the experiences that I had, experiences that we had, that we shared. Some say on the yard. And just it's just a appreciation, a love, that I truly have for Lincoln, and that I truly have for the HBCUs in general, for all HBCUs. It's just, it's a special place, it's a special place in my heart, and it's just, man, I'm just speechless, man, to see what we all of us in that picture have done, and the ones even not in that picture, obviously the ones even not in that picture were not pictured. The work that we're doing, and it's just, we're just very grateful. I'm just very happy, man. So.
Cry me a river. Oh, that's nice.
So,
family.
Yeah. So with the last few minutes we have, Wallace, your closing remarks and any announcements. Of course, we're gonna shout out the flyer. We're gonna put the flyer back up, to remind people. But any last words, any last reminders, announcements from you, closing remarks?
Well, as far as the event on Wednesday is concerned, we have volunteers that will be working from 9 to 12, getting ready for the community. If you know anyone that's in need, I know it's, sometimes it's hard to identify, and ask for help, right? If you know someone in need, you can tell them, you can come and pick up a basket for them, right? We're working with, I'm trying to work with a couple of food banks in Philadelphia right now. I don't want to name drop because I don't want them to see this and pull their donation. I'm trying to work with some food banks right now, but we're more than equipped. We're ready. Anyone else that would like to send in a donation, we are Just Cause Foundation on all money sharing platforms, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. And I honestly just want to, if anyone's on this call watching, Greg, that's my day one. He was there. That's who I was with.
Yeah, shout out to Greg.
Yeah, shout out to Greg. He came up with the name. I wouldn't even, we wouldn't be having this conversation. A lot of things in my life, wouldn't be what it is without Greg. He put me onto the job where I'm able to work in different cities and try to make differences in these different cities. So I always say every chance I get, shout out to Greg. But yes, Just Cause. We're in Philly. And if you know anyone that wants to make food donations, I'm in Philly all week. We can do some contactless pickups, right? Canned goods. I made two pickups this week. So any and every.
Yeah, we got a resource we'll send to you not too far from that area, West Oak Lane area. Mass July, actually, they give out food every Tuesday.
Okay.
We could give you that connect and see if they can help you out also.
Yeah, I can loop you in. I can loop you in with the leadership there. We can also loop you in with Jihad Ahmed from who's been on the show. He works
Sheriff Department.
Yeah, the Sheriff Department, but he also does a lot of community outreach. Does a lot of feeding of the community. May know some other Muslims and the other people in the community that want to participate in such an endeavor. So I'll loop you in offline to some of those people, and so we can get you some support. From the Philadelphia area, because that's what we do. We try to connect. We try to bridge the gaps, close the ranks. Make sure the ranks is tight. In reference to our brotherhood and our family. What I'm saying, because this is one family, and we want to support anything that's good. Again, the prophetic tradition or the scriptural tradition is to enjoy what is good and forbid what is wrong. Promote the truth, promote justice. Promote equity. Across the board. So that's what we're here for. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing. Instead of saying, and we, again, this platform is for you. Like all the guests that we have on this platform, we always say that, this platform is yours. Anytime you want to come back on, anytime you want us to promote something, just it's a natural occurrence, man. I naturally share it. I naturally share it anyway, but this platform is yours, Wallace, man.
That's and before we close, bro, I just want to let you know how proud I am of you. You've always had a strong voice. You always knew who you were, and no joke, no slight, nothing anyone could ever say was ever going to stop you. And I'm proud to see you pushing on and using your platform and just being true to yourself. Because like I said, even from Lincoln, you've always been a person of love and highlighting and supporting others. So you deserve your flowers as well, Bilal. Beloved.
The Beloved Ministries live in effect.
That's right. No, but we appreciate it. But before we let everyone go, tomorrow we just a couple more announcements. Tomorrow we have Queen's best kept secret, misunderstood, straight out of Southside, Jamaica Queen. She has a new single out called "As Real as They Come." It's streaming all on every streaming platform. We will have her. She'll be debuting her video for that song exclusively on this platform tomorrow at 8:00 p.m. Eastern. Also, we cannot forget the patron for what we're doing, NFX Daily. We want to produce daily content, and we need your support. We welcome your support. There's several tiers there that you can fall under, and they come with some perks with those tiers. So check it out, patreon.com/NFX Daily. Also, we have the Bilalian Trust. No pun intended. That is my namesake. But it has a lot of history. That name has a lot of history. It has a lot of historical relevance to the indigenous African American Muslim community, but even back towards the African continent and to Al-Islam. So the Bilalian Trust is the cultural heritage project that we're on to preserve and digitize a lot of the archives of a lot of the indigenous African American Muslim accomplishments in this country and abroad. We are in contact with a lot of pioneers, a lot of elders who have entrusted us with a lot of material that we hope to digitize for not just for our consumption, but for the general public's consumption and participation in. So any donation is appreciated. Any level doesn't matter. No donation is big or small. Also, we have CMOS. We have CMOS for sale. Let me get that link up there. Where's that? Yeah, CMOS. sea moss straight from East Africa, Check it out. tinyurl.com/organic sea moss on NPX, which is the marketplace exchange for this platform. We just bridged a partnership deal with our brother out of Tanzania, and he got the purest of purest sea moss, the purest of the pure. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And anything else? Oh, get your bean pies. And no, you won't become a Muslim if you eat a bean pie. That's a myth. You won't get a kufi. You won't have a kimar on. It's a myth. Everyone loves a bean pie. So right now we have the bean pie kits. New Freedom Pie has the bean pie kit where you can make the bean pie at home yourself. The mix is already made. All you have to do is pour it in the graham cracker crust and just put it in the oven. Done. You wait for 45 minutes, you're done. You have yourself a nice family-sized bean pie, and then you can share it with your family and friends. So check it out, newfreedompie.com, and place in your order, and we'll ship that out to you. Dean, do you have any other announcements before we close, man? Or we leave our lasting remarks?
Well, no, I just appreciate meeting the brother. Warm spirit. You can sense the visionary aspect of your work. Very, very appreciative to get to have you on this platform. What's that, Bilal? He's beloved everything. That's good though. But I really like early on, and as you were going through the different scenarios of your life and how you give homage to those who influence you, and you don't take credit for the blessing that you have been to others. That warm spirit. I mean, certain things that you said people take for granted, but like it's monumental, man. Like you said, presence. Like presence is, that goes far reaching and everything. So I just salute you and I appreciate you. And I wish I could have got some of them pies to you, man, to put in that basket. Maybe next time we gotta put some teeny beanies in that basket.
Yes, we do.
So we can get those away. So that'll be on us next time. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll link up. Yeah, we get some bean pies in there, man, for the people, man. Well, my closing remark is I'll keep it brief, because I like to talk, But again, what we see here is again essential for the benefit of our people, but also the benefit of humanity. I encourage everyone who's listening or who will listen later to this platform to make sure you look back at the comments, send this brother a couple of dollars, whatever you have, whatever you can spare. If you're in Philadelphia, we put the flyer up again. If you're in Philadelphia, pull up Wednesday. If you know somebody that needs help, or push them, do what you gotta do. Bring them, go with them. Come out Wednesday. Support 12 to 4 at the Mastery Charter Prep Elementary, 1801 West Pike Street in Philadelphia, PA 19141. Again, that's Mastery Charter Prep Elementary School in Philadelphia. Again, Thanksgiving gift basket drive from Just Cause Foundation. Again, support our brother. He's right here. He can be reached. His contact information is below. So is Ikenna. Shout out to my man Ikenna. His number is there too. 267-322-7538, or A Wallace at thejustcausefoundation.org. And just again, support our brother. Support anything that's good. I just think that again, I'm super proud of you, Wallace, and super proud of all those who are working with you, those who have donated. We appreciate you all. Those who share it. We appreciate you all too. Share if you can't donate. A share and a like goes far, man. And I just have to say that again, this platform is open to you anytime. You're an open guest. You're no longer a guest. You're part of the New Freedom Exchange family. So is the rest of our family. And again, we pray for you and your success. We pray that the Creator protects you and protect your family during this time of COVID, and make sure you stay safe and stay healthy. And we definitely pray for the success of Just Cause Foundation, and moving forward. And we'll be there to support you in any shape, any way we can. All right. And until next time, my beloveds. Peace.
In the words of United, is not what's best for you; it's what's best for the whole.
Oh man, that's
Hold on, repeat. Encore. Come on, man. You dropping bombers on the way out. Encore.
Say it again, man.
It's not what's best for you. It's what's best for the whole.
Oh, man. And with that, signing off. Peace and blessings.
Peace until next
Assalamu
time.
alaikum. Peace, everybody. Thank you.
They ask me about religion, why? They ask me about my race and my tribe. They ask about my complexion, why? When they ask me, this is what I say. My grandfather was a Muslim, and my daddy was a Rasta. They were searching for the truth, and the Quran they gave the answer. They put their hands up to the sky, and they ask the Lord why. We not gonna worship the creation, we only pray to the Creator. Guidance is a gift that the Lord shall give to any man or woman, whether small or big. God said you must reflect, you have to use your mind. So now you know the reason why. My grandfather was a Muslim, and my daddy was a Rasta. They were searching for the truth. In the Quran they found the answer. They put their hands up to the sky, and they asked the Lord why. We not gonna worship the creation, we only pray to the Creator. The messenger of God, the best of creation. Peace and blessings be upon him and his one nation. He came to teach the world, came to free our souls, and the charity comes from a smile. So when you see me on the road, give me a smile. I say salam alaikum to my brothers, why? Cause it's peace for you and it's peace for me. Peace from my granddaddy. My grandfather was a Muslim. My daddy was a Rasta. My daddy was a Rasta. They were searching for the truth. Yeah. In the Quran they found the answer. They put their hands up to the sky. And they asked the Lord why. We not gonna worship the creation. We only pray to the Creator. My grandfather was a Muslim, and my daddy was a Rasta. They were searching for the truth. In the Quran they found the answer. They found what they were looking for. They put their hands up in the sky, and they asked the Lord why. We not gonna worship the creation. We only pray to the Creator. My grandfather was a Muslim, and my daddy was a Rasta. They were searching for the truth, and the Quran they gave the answer. They put their hands up.